Hey everyone, so this is going to be the first video of me actually teaching you something new that we haven't done in the classroom yet. It's very similar to what we were doing before you left with the SOHCAHTOA stuff, because obviously it's using tangent, sine, cosine, things like that. But this is a little bit different in the sense that we don't know what our angle is. So their instructions tell us to find the measure of the indicated angle, which remember, that's always what comes after your trig function. So in this case, it would be A. In this case, it would be W. Remember, it's always sine, tangent, cosine of your angle. That's how you write the equations. So our angle in this case would be A. We're trying to figure out what A is. Now, you guys have never seen this before, so I'm just going to have to kind of show you what it looks like. Let's use a different color. Let's use red. Okay. So if I want to figure out what just A is, and you were thinking about this like a math problem, you would need to get rid of the things that are next to A. So the way that you get rid of tangent, essentially get rid of it, is by doing what's called the inverse of it. And really, you're doing that anytime you solve an equation, you're always doing the inverse. So if something's being multiplied, I say, well, what do you do to undo that? You say, okay, well, you divide. This is because it's the inverse operation. So what we're going to do is do the inverse of tangent, which looks like this. Okay, you might have this button in your calculator, so let me show you what it looks like on mine, and maybe that will help you guys trying to do this on your own calculator. So you have to rotate it, obviously, to the scientific calculator. Make sure that your let's see if this will work. It's okay. Make sure that you're in degree. So right here it says radians. That means I'm RAD up here. It says radian. That means I'm in degree right now. So I'm going to make sure I'm in degree, and then I am going to type in, oh, sorry. It should look like this for you guys right now. This top button on the left that has the arrows, you're going to tap that. It's kind of like a more. It'll give you more options. So I'm going to tap that. And then you'll be able to see all the other stuff all the other options it gives you. And you'll see the one that actually says tangent with that little -1 at the top, which means inverse. So I'm going to use a inverse tangent. When you type that in, when you click that button, it should say A tan. That just means inverse tan. That's how calculators write it. So when I do that, I want to find the inverse tangent of, so parenthesis, 0.2679. That's literally it. We were just trying to find the inverse, so that's it. So I would just type in 0.2679 because that's what it's equal to. Then I would get my answer, 14.99, which we would round to 15 because it says to round to the nearest degree. Okay, so like sine, again, I would just do the inverse of sine, which is that little -1 symbol, of what it's equal to. So I'm taking the inverse on each side is what's happening. Let me show you what we're doing really, why it works this way. So I'm taking the inverse sine of the sine of z. This is essentially what's happening. And remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other side as well. So if I'm taking the inverse sine of this side, I need to take the inverse sine of the other side as well. 0.5736. Sorry, I'm writing with a mouse. Okay, so inverse sine and sine will cancel out. I'm left with just z equals inverse sine of 0.5736. And then that would be what your answer is, and you should get 35 here.